Hey everyone, happy Friday. I hope this week has been good for you all. My name's Bianca Jordan. I'm an immigration attorney in Massachusetts, and I wanted to hop on and do a video on the public charge rule. There have been a lot of updates this week, and so I wanted to hop on really quickly and do a Facebook Live on this topic. I really want to try and hop on and do a Facebook Live every week. I'm not promising, but it's something that I do want to try doing more of this year. And I will save this Facebook Live in case there are people that can't join me live today or can't stay for the whole thing. And I will also do another video in Haitian Creole. So if you don't understand what I'm saying in this video, after this video, I will do another one in Haitian Creole. So before I get into the public charge updates, I just want to provide an overview of the public charge rule. So the public charge rule isn't anything really new. It's always been a part of our Immigration and Nationality Act, which is the immigration law in the United States. And so if you're trying to come to the United States with a visitor's visa or any type of visa or a green card, you have to be admissible. And that basically means that you have to be allowed to come into the United States. And so the Immigration and Nationality Act has a list of things that would make you inadmissible, which would mean you wouldn't be able to come to the United States. And these things can be medical issues such as certain diseases. If you have committed certain crimes, that might be enough to keep you from being able to come to the United States. And another ground of inadmissibility would be the public charge rule. And so the public charge rule is basically a test that is used to determine whether someone who wants to come to the United States with a visa or a green card would be in a position where they might end up using a public benefit, one or more public benefits in the future. And so the public charge rule isn't new, but what's new right now is that the way in which the tests are being implemented, that's what's new about this rule. And so last year, the government announced that it would be implementing the new public charge rule on October 15th, 2019. But due to a couple of lawsuits, there was a nationwide injunction, and so there wasn't implementation of the public charge rule. And if you remember last fall, there was a mad dash amongst immigration attorneys trying to get their clients to submit their green card petitions before October 15th, 2019, in case their clients would be subject to the new public charge rule. And so this past Monday, a couple days ago, the Supreme Court lifted the nationwide injunction on the public charge rule everywhere except for Illinois. Illinois has its own injunction that deals specifically with Illinois. So on Monday, the Supreme Court lifted the nationwide injunction, which basically means that the government can start to implement the public charge rule everywhere except for Illinois. And then last night, USCIS said that it would begin to implement the new public charge rule on February 24th, 2020. So I wanted to come on here and just provide that overview and also provide a reminder of what the public charge rule is and what the new implementation is and what that means for your case. So I have some notes because it's a lot of information that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So bear with me. So first I'm going to talk about who the rule affects. So the rule only applies to people who are trying to apply for a green card through their family members, such as, like a spouse, for example, if you want to apply for a fiancé visa, or you want to apply for a green card through your spouse or your parent, the public charge rule will impact you. It will also affect people that have a green card that maybe leave the United States for over 180 days. When you come back, you might be subjected to the public charge rule. So next I want to talk about who is not affected by this rule. So people with the following statuses are not impacted by the new implementation of the public charge rule: US citizens, people with temporary protected status or TPS, people with deferred action for childhood arrivals or DACA, refugees and asylees, Certain permanent residents or green card holders, which, as I just mentioned, if you have a green card and you leave the United States for more than 180 days, when you come back, you could be subjected to the public charge rule. Certain people that have a U or a T visa, which are visas for people who are victims of certain crimes or human trafficking. People with VAWA, which is the Violence Against Women Act, so victims and survivors of domestic violence. People that would be applying for a green card through the Cuban Adjustment Program or the Haitian Refugee Immigration Fairness Act. People with special immigrant juvenile status, and most recently, Liberians who are applying for green cards through the Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness Program that was signed into law December 20th, 2019. These categories of people are not impacted by this rule. And next, I want to talk about the benefits that will count against you as part of the implementation of the public charge rule. So Medicaid will count against you unless you are using emergency services, school-based benefits to children. So for example, a Head Start program, that won't count against you. Medicaid used by immigrant children under the age of 21 years old, or Medicaid used by a pregnant woman during her pregnancy and 60 days after her pregnancy. That won't count against you. Food stamps will count against you. Section 8 and subsidized housing benefits will count against you. Long-term care, cash assistance such as SSI, TANF, and general assistance will count against you. So basically, non-cash benefits should not count against you negatively towards this new implementation of the public charge rule. A common question I get is, should I quit my benefits? And the answer is no, not necessarily, because the majority of immigrants really won't be impacted by this public charge rule. And so what I don't want is for people to run around and quit their benefits, especially if you need them. If you have any concerns about whether this will impact your ability to get a green card, I would definitely recommend speaking with an immigration attorney so that you can understand what, if anything, the consequences would be when you're trying to apply for a green card. Another common question that I get is, will people in your household negatively impact your ability to get a green card if they are receiving a public benefit? So for example, let's say you are an undocumented parent and your children are US citizens, and so your children receive food stamps. Will that negatively impact you when it's time for you to apply for a green card? No, because the children are US citizens, the food stamps are for them. So they're not for you, the undocumented immigrant. So that won't be a negative factor towards your application for a green card. If you are receiving one or more of these benefits, I would strongly encourage you to try to apply for your green card or visa before February 24th, which is when this new implementation goes into effect. And in addition to trying to get your application in before these new rules go into effect, I would also encourage you to try to get your application in as soon as possible, because back in November 2019, USCIS announced that it would be increasing its filing fees for green card applications, a lot of applications, but green cards are one of them. And right now, if you're applying, for example, if you're applying for adjustment of status from the United States, you're applying for a green card through a spouse or a parent or a child, the filing fee right now is $1,760, and there's not a fee waiver for that application. And so if and when the filing fees go up, I should say when the filing fees go up, the last time they went up was December 2016. So when the filing fees go up, as of right now, they could go up to about $2,100 or $2,200. And so I would strongly encourage you to file your green card applications before February 24th, so that you can avoid both the new public charge rules being counted against you, and also to try to avoid the filing fee increases. If you're not able to apply for your green card before February 24th, 2020, I would still speak with an immigration attorney if you think that these new public charge rules will impact you. So that way, at least you know what you need to do and maybe what you need to do to start getting ready to file your application. Because one of the things that will happen after February 24th is that the forms will be changing and there will be an additional documentation that will need to be submitted with your application. So the process is going to get more complicated and more costly. Now is definitely the time to act on your immigration case. If you can apply, definitely do it now, because immigration cases will never be as simple and as cheap as they are right now. The filing fees are going up. Everything is getting more complicated in immigration. So next, I want to cover what the test will actually look like. And so it will be a totality of the circumstances test in determining whether or not you're likely in the future at any time to become a public charge. And the things that they'll look out for, again, they're not new, but the way in which they're going to implement them is new. So one of the criteria is your age. So if you are under the age of 18 or over the age of 60, then you might, that might count negatively against you as far as the public charge test is concerned. And this is something that people with, maybe if you have older parents that you are considering petitioning for to come to the United States with a green card, you might want to get that application in a little bit sooner because your parents' age might be counted negatively against them for this test. Similarly, health issues. So if you are someone who has a lot of complicated health issues and you don't have private insurance, maybe you have state-funded insurance, that could be an issue. Or if you have the Affordable Care Act with subsidies, that would be an issue that would be negatively affecting your ability to get a green card under the public charge test. Another criteria is your family size and your household size. So if you have a lot of dependents, if you have a lot of children, if your income is not that great, that will be negatively impacting your ability to get a green card under this new rule. Your finances and assets will also be scrutinized. So if you have a lot of debt, not counting student loan debt, but if you have a lot of consumer debt, if you have maybe a lot of car loans, a lot of credit card debt, if you have a low credit score, a bad credit history, that could negatively impact your ability to get a green card as well under this program. Your education and language skills. So if you don't speak English well or at all, that will be a negative factor against you. Also, if you have attended school, maybe got a degree in the United States, and you just refuse to work, that could also be negatively counted against you as well. And another common question that I get is, will this impact, if you are a green card holder that is receiving a public benefit, will that impact your ability to become a US citizen? And the answer is no, because there is no public charge test for naturalization. So if you are a green card holder who's had a green card for at least 5 years or 3.5 or 3, if you've been married to a US citizen, then I would strongly encourage you to apply for US citizenship soon as well. Not because of the public charge, but because the filing fees would be going up for that as well. So right now, the filing fees for citizenship applications are $725. But if and when the filing fees go up, those could be up to $1,100 or more. So I really just wanted to hop on and do a really quick video on the changes to public charge. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the live. Again, I will keep this live up. If you'd like to learn more about my law firm and the types of immigration cases that I handle, you can visit brazenlegal.com/immigration, and I posted the link in my comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.